Hello, welcome to 31 Days of Devotion. I'm Carlos Alberto, and today's session is on intentions. Now, for most people in this series, you're probably very familiar with what intentions are, but for those who are just joining, or today might be their first day, I just want to be very clear what intentions is about and how to utilize it, because at the beginning of the year, it's a great time to use it, but you'll see that this is a practice that you can use throughout the year and on any given day, in any given moment. So basically, a goal is something that happens in the future. An intention is something that's happening in the now. A goal is something that is basically a destination that you want to get to. An intention is something that is more of a journey, the journey, okay? So if you have person A who wants to get to the top of the mountain as a goal, and you have person B who wants to go up the mountain and enjoy the view and just have a good time, if they work together, they can actually accomplish getting as high as they possibly can, weather permitting, and then at the same time enjoying the entire process, regardless of how high up they actually made it. So that's the power of coupling the two, having them work together. So what we'll do today is we're going to use various scenarios of us in particular situations with people we know, don't know, whatever the case may be, and choosing an intention that will make the most sense for us in that particular moment. So before we begin, I want you to think of a quality or a characteristic that you can embody in this present moment that would be beneficial to you as you embark in this new year. So it could be, maybe you're a bit on the grumpy side in general, and you say, hey, this year I want to be more kind, be a bit more joyous. Or maybe I'm oftentimes confused, not sure what to do, and indecisive. So maybe you can say, my intent this year is to be clear, have much more insight on what is important to me in this present moment and how to go about it in this particular way or that particular way. So there's a lot of intentions out there that you can set. I just wanted to give a couple of ideas just to see what maybe something might resonate with you. But in any event, think of a quality, think of a characteristic that you can embody right now, and imagine it living in the center of your being and radiating out from within you. So you fully embody it, and then it kind of is exuding off of you, okay? That's the idea. We want to really own the intention so that people can feel it as well, okay? Because we're really coming from that. We're not making believe, or we're not pretending. We're really owning the quality. Okay, so let's give it a shot. Let's get situated. For those of you new to the practice, this is a contemplative practice, meaning we'll be closing our eyes and just basically imagining. I'll take you through a guided meditation. So you can close your eyes and just relax. There's no reason to look at me in this video. I'm going to pretty much do my best to just share what I need to share. You can close your eyes and settle in. You should feel grounded from the waist down. From the waist up, feel solid, but at the same time relaxed and very, what's the word? I guess regal almost. Just really, there's a firm stability, but a very relaxed and confident state. Okay, so the chin, maybe you tuck the chin in a little bit to make sure the head is directly balanced above the spinal column. And then now bring attention to all your facial muscles and just have them all relax, okay? The forehead is relaxing, the muscles around the eyes are relaxing, your jawbone is relaxing, everything is relaxing, your tongue is relaxing, nothing's clenched, you're not biting your teeth or anything like that. Simply relax. You can rest your hands lightly on your thighs or knees. Now bring attention to the breath. Just really witness the breath in its natural state, in and out. Now, before we go any further, I just want to throw a little tidbit in. I want you to bring attention to the point between your eyebrows, what people call the third eye. And I want you to imagine a vision in front of you that makes you smile. Something that really brings a warm smile to mind. And now imagine the energy of this smile entering through your third eye and filling your body with this warm inner smile. Just allow yourself to feel this inner smile. It might not show on the outside. It's an inner smile that's exuding within your body. And now I want you to think of that word. Think of the quality or the characteristic that you can embody in this moment. It should be a word that works well with I am. So I am kind. I am loving, I am happy, I'm insightful. These are just examples, none of which you need to use. If you have one, great. Don't overthink it. The first word that came to mind is probably the one to go with. And now I'm going to take you through a scenario. I want you to imagine family and friends gathering together. And just imagine you showing up with this intention in mind, this quality, this characteristic. You're embodying it and you're showing up at a family and friend gathering and you're coming from this place. What would that feel like for you? Can you tap into that feeling of what that would feel like for you to show up at a family, amongst family and friends with this intention in place? Really feel what that would feel like for you. Now imagine what it would feel like for your family and friends to witness you showing up in this way, coming from this intention, this quality, this characteristic is exuding from you. What would that feel like for them? Now can you imagine a shift happening in your relationship amongst family and friends, just based on this intention, you coming from this place, you showing up in this way? Can you see a shift happening for the better? Can you imagine the possibilities and the inspiration that can come from you showing up in this way when dealing with family and friends? Just imagine that for a moment. Okay, I now invite you to take a deep breath in. Fill the lungs and release. Let that go. Normalize your breath. Reconnect in this present moment with the body and the breath. And I want to now bring to mind someone you love or something you love. It could be an intimate partnership. It could be somebody you just hold really true to your heart. It could be your pet. And now I want you to think of an intention. It can be the very same intention you used the last scenario, or something else, something a bit more suitable. Knowing your relationship with this person you love, what would be a good intention for you to have showing up interacting with this person you love, what would be a good intention? Now I want you to embody this intention and imagine what that would feel like for you to show up and exude this intention. Can you imagine what it would feel like for the person you love, you showing up in this way? And what that must feel like for them to see you show up in this way. Can you imagine a shift in the relationship for the better? Just based on this intention, you showing up in this way. Can you imagine the possibilities and the inspiration that can come simply from you showing up with this intention? And what that could mean for the relationship? Okay, now I invite you to take a deep breath in and release. Let that contemplation go with the breath. Normalize your breath. Reconnect with the body and the breath in this present moment. I want you to now imagine your work environment. Whether it be your co-workers, your employers, your employees, your business associates. Imagine an intention, a quality, a characteristic that would work really well in your work environment. It can be the very same intention you use with someone you love or your family and friends, or it can be something else a bit more appropriate that you think would be beneficial for you. Knowing the dynamics in your work relationships, what would be a good intention? Embody this intention now. Have it come from the center of your being. Fully embody this intention and have it radiate off of you. And now walk into work exuding this intention. What would that feel like for you to come from this place as you experience your colleagues in the workplace? What would it feel like for them to witness you showing up in this way? Can you see a shift in the relationship for the better, just based on this intention? What about the possibilities and the inspiration that can come from simply you showing up with this intention at work? Okay, I invite you to take a deep breath in and release. Let that go, let the contemplation go. Reconnect with the breath and the body in the present moment. Stabilize the mind in the now. Now I want you to think of a difficult person. This is someone that, I don't want to say you hate because that's a harsh word, but someone that's kind of annoying. It could be someone at work, it could be a neighbor, it could be a family member. Just picture this person in your mind. And now I want you to think of a quality or a characteristic that you think would be beneficial for you to embody the next time you encounter this person. This one's tricky, But really think about it for a moment. What would be a good quality that you can embody? Now, imagine encountering this person. What would that feel like for you to show up in this way? Can you imagine what they would feel like to see you show up in this way, with this intention, firmly intact? Can you see a shift happen in the relationship towards the better? Perhaps the possibilities and the inspiration that can come from it. We don't have to agree with everyone, but we also don't have to allow the way other people are to shift us outside of something that we'd rather be. We have the right to choose how we wish to show up in every given moment. I invite you to take a deep breath in. Release. Let that contemplation go. Reconnect with the breath and the body in this present moment. Stabilize the mind in the now. I want you to now think of community. Now that varies from person to person. For you, it might be your local sangha, or maybe you go to church on the weekends, or an after work community group you're a part of, your volunteer work, your neighborhood, whatever it is. Imagine your community. And now think of a quality that can work really well, that you can show up, you can embody and show up in this way. Now imagine a community affair and you showing up, you embodying this quality. What would that feel like for you? Just imagine the feeling that it would have on you. And now imagine what it would feel like for your community members to see you show up in this way. Can you imagine a shift for the better with you and your community? The possibilities and the inspiration that can come from it. I invite you now to take a deep breath in. Let it out. Let that contemplation go. Reconnect with the normal breathing pattern, the physical body. Allow the mind to settle in this present moment, right here in the now. I have one more visualization for you. This one is yourself. I want you to imagine a quality or a characteristic that you can embody when you're dealing with yourself. Whether it be your own personal development, your day-to-day hygiene, your day-to-day health regimen, your day-to-day TLC, your day-to-day meditation, your day-to-day business affairs, to-do lists, whatever you have to do as a person. We oftentimes beat ourselves up. But can we come up with a quality or a characteristic that we can embody when we're taking care of ourselves? When we're dealing with our day-to-day affairs? How can we show up for ourselves? How can we treat ourselves in a way that's beneficial? Can you imagine what that would feel like? Treating yourself in a particular way, embodying a quality or a characteristic. Can you see a shift happening for the better with you and your personal relationship with self? Can you imagine how the body would respond to this quality, to this intention? Can you see the possibilities and the inspiration that can come from you treating yourself in this way? Embodying this quality. We have the freedom at any given moment to choose how we wish to show up. And that includes how we treat ourselves. I invite you to take a deep breath in. This time I want you to fill the belly, and I want you to imagine the breath going outward around the sides of the body instead of up. Just really fill the belly. And exhale. Bring your breathing pattern back to a normal breathing rate. Reconnect with the physical body. Have the mind connect to the now. And feel free to flutter your eyes open and reconnect. So yeah, there you have it. That's an intentions practice. You can do that anytime you want. It's a good way to practice and play with different intentions and how we have that choice. It's kind of like our own superpower. So take that with you. May this year be full of beautiful intentions, and may your goals be fruitful as well. But whether you make those goals or not, if you have solid intentions, you'll have a beautiful year. The journey will be beautiful either way. So thank you for joining. I'll see you again. Okay? Bye-bye.